In this series on biases that I was talking about, I'm going to talk. I spoke about something called a cognitive bias, and I ended up by saying, "Oh, this is confirmation bias. This is so similar." So today I'll talk to you about confirmation bias, and again let me read out as is wont the definition of confirmation bias. Confirmation bias, which is also called my side bias, is the tendency to search for, interpret or recall information in a way that confirms one's beliefs and hypotheses. It's a type of a cognitive bias and a systematic error of inductive reasoning. People display this bias when they gather or remember information selectively or when they interpret it in a biased way. The effect is stronger for emotionally charged issues and deeply entrenched beliefs. People also tend to interpret ambiguous evidence as supporting their existing position. What can be a better time to do this this confirmation bias is because during elections you have your sides. So I'm very clearly biased towards Narendra Modi and NDA, BJP, whatever you want to call it, the combination. So to me, will any mistake of theirs be visible? Answer is no. Can I see anything good happening out of the dot alliance? Answer is no. So this is definitely a bias called the confirmation bias. When I have the shares of a particular company, I tend to look at it and say, okay, let me find all the information about this company. Unfortunately or fortunately, I tend to look only for information which is confirming my view. So if I bought a share, let's say I bought Patanjali at 850, and when and at the time when I'm making the video, maybe the price is 1700. Then what happens is I think, oh, I am very smart, I have doubled my money, and I bought it at 850 with a time when there was some controversy, and therefore this was the controversy in the case of Adani, right? Her Hindenburg report had come about Adani, and I said this is a fantastic time to be buying Patanjali because the next victim could be Patanjali. Unfortunately or fortunately that didn't happen, but luckily for me I bought it at 850, 840 and all those prices. Of course I also bought higher at 940, 950, but at 1350 I sold a bit, and then whenever I try to collect information I go and ask people and say, oh no, I think the products are very good, I use their toothpaste, I do this. So this is the old Ruchi Soya that we are talking about. So then I always tend to collect that information, but then I also spoke to somebody else and said, oh, their distribution is not very good. So now I didn't want to hear that, right? I wanted to hear, oh, all the money is going very well, it is the product is good, now the distribution is being set up. So I said, okay, let me check how biased I am, and I sold some shares. This was just to check whether I am able to sell it. I could sell it, and today it is available maybe 200, 300 rupees lesser than what I sold. So so I've been able to do that, but then this bias saying I will only get information which I like. For example, in a Indo-Pak transaction or an Indo-Pak relationship, when you are from the Indian side, you will see only the Indian portion, right? You cannot see the other's point of view. So it's important when I tell this to people, I say to get into other people's shoes, you have to first get off your shoes, right? So that's very difficult. So conservative people, when they abstain from news and opinions that saying equity markets are good, they'll show you that, oh no, you see how my father lost money during Harshad Mehta times, or my grandfather lost money during Harshad Mehta times, whatever, depending on their age. So they're going to tell you all that because they don't want to hear something contrary to what they're saying, what they like. So they'll keep all their money in bank fixed deposit and not worry, pay taxes. And when you tell them that, look, you can also put in equity, you can pay less tax, they don't want to hear it. It's a confirmation bias. What can be other examples? So even in personal finance, lots of personal financial information that is available. So suppose you are an American, average American, and somebody tells you, look, Social Security will fail. You're not bothered too much if you're 30 years of age, but when you're 72, you don't want to hear that Social Security will fail now. So you'll say, no, I think Social Security will fail, but maybe it will fail after 10 years, 20 years, right? So when you have a product, you tend to focus and promote it more. So I tell this to people, you cannot drive a Maruti car and sell a Santro, or the reverse. You have to eat the food that you make, which you are selling. So whether it is investing in mutual funds, buying insurance policies, whatever, You have to have a portfolio of the products which you are trying to sell, because then you can see the positives you can do. So it helps you while doing some sales. And also, when people want to be frugal with information, they don't even understand that this bias of theirs, that the confirmation bias for in their financial situation, what they are looking at may not be true, may not be right. So somebody with a 2.5 3 crore net worth should not be looking at a 1 crore in a PMS. You need to have 10-15 crores before you start thinking like this, right? So again, the confirmation bias, no, see, my mutual funds have done well for me, or well, somebody can say PMS has done well for me. So again, all these tools are important for you. So learn more specifically, learn from different perspectives. If you are a person who likes equity, go and ask a person who likes debt. So you have his point of view or her point of view. Don't be frugal with information. Put all the information, see why you're thinking like this. If you are on a Thursday, think about it and say, okay, decision I will take on Monday or Tuesday, so that some bias may be removed, right? So something like that you can do. And these are the ways to, I mean, I've always said this, once you know that these are the biases, you can catch yourself falling prey to those biases. That is the only thing you can do. Thank you.